Story 1. Am I the asshole for not finding in me the strength to forgive my cheating husband? Am I the asshole for not finding in me the strength to forgive my husband who cheated with a certain her? Hi everyone, I have been on Reddit for a while now, trying to the courage to ask for advice, but I did not know how I could come here and talk about my private life with strangers, since not even my family and friends know about this. I seriously need some outside opinions because I am very hurt and confused about all this. Sorry in advance if I misspell or get the wrong words, but English is not my first language. I am Italian. This is the situation. I, 31-year-old female, have been with my husband, 42-year-old male, for more than 10 years now, 5 of which married. We had baby recently. She is just 2 months old, and we both love her with all our hearts. I had a pretty rough pregnancy, most of which I had to spend with my family because I needed assistance even to use the bathroom, and he could not provide it, since he works all day till 6:30 p.m. The delivery was even tougher, and the doctors had to give me a lot of stitches, thing that really made the postpartum a lot harder for me, but I managed with the help of my parents and sister. He's been really supportive too. The thing is, it's been almost a year since the last time we were intimate, because my doctor suggested to take it easy since the recovery would be slow, and he was right. He's been joking about it, saying he had to use his hand and things like this. Before pregnancy, we had a very spicy bedroom life. I have always had a really strong sexual drive, and he really much appreciated it, but now I feel like what happened, it's my fault. Last week I went out with my daughter and a friend of mine. It wasn't planned. She surprised me, and I gladly accepted. I wanted a change of scenario, and it's been a while since the last time I went out. We were drinking a coffee in a pretty bar where we always go when I see her. She hasn't been around for a long time, and I was surprised to see her, but she was there. To make it short, she's about my age, and they had a sort of relationship before I was in the picture. Not a proper relationship, but they slept together for about 6 months before her found out she was sleeping with his best friend as well, but they kept being friends, not as close as before. Then she went to live abroad and periodically came back to visit her family. A few years ago, when we were just dating, she came with my brother-in-law to my husband's family's vacation home and did not even bother to greet me, just smirked smugly at me, so my husband ignored her and came with me. My brother-in-law then told me he'd told her that my husband was serious about me and to not stir any trouble, and she said she wasn't there for my husband but for him, and proceeded to sleep with him. Then we would casually see her when she came to visit her family. Once she did not see me next to my husband and tried to greet him, just to run away when she noticed me. What the heck? Then my brother-in-law died because of a car accident, and we still mourn him. He was my best friend and I loved him dearly. Imagine what my husband had to go through. And she sent my husband a text where she told him how much she cared about him and his parents, and she was sorry and wanted to talk to him. My husband did not reply, asked me to delete the message after we argued a little about her lack of boundaries, but I felt guilty to bring it up at a moment like that. Anyway, she then disappeared, and I found out she was fighting against cancer from mutual friends, and I honestly felt bad for her. When I saw her last week, a feeling of uneasiness took a hold of me. I don't know why. I felt something was wrong, but I thought I was being paranoid. Then my husband's best friend, the one she'd slept with years ago, told me to check my husband's phone and that he was sorry, but he thought I deserved to know. Well, I didn't found nothing, so asked him to tell me what was wrong. Long story short, on New Year's Eve, while I was at home with our daughter and our families, and he went out to greet a couple of friends, he met her casually and told our friend he made a mistake and they had a quickie in her car before he came back home. Our friend showed me the texts and my heart broke. I waited a few days to talk to him. He cried and told me he made a mistake, but he never saw her after that evening, and he wanted to tell me, but he was scared, and all the things cheaters say when they get caught. I know I neglected him, but it wasn't my fault. He asked for forgiveness and told me he would do anything, but I can't find in me the strength to forgive him. Then I think about my innocent daughter and wonder if I should make an effort. Nobody knows, not my family nor his, not our friends, except for the one who told me about all this, and he thinks I should leave him, that he has no excuse for what he did. He himself has a toddler now, so he knows what he's talking about. I care deeply for my husband. I don't want to tell anyone what happened because I don't want our family and friends to hate him or look at him differently, but I can't stay with him. It's something I can't find the strength to do. He knew what I think about cheating, he knew I was insecure about her, he knew this would kill me. I feel disgusted. He came home that night as if nothing had happened. How could he do this to us? To my daughter in the first place. I still love and care for him, but I can't go on. I am moving back at my parents' house tonight, telling them I need some help with the baby. I want nothing from him, not the house, it would remind me of him, not his money, nothing. I will never stop him from being the wonderful dad I know he will be. I'll do my best to have a good relationship with him as co-parents, but that's all I can do. I would never trust him again, and I feel like any romantic feelings I felt for him died the moment I found out the truth. He says I am not trying to fix things up, but why should I fix something I did not break? He isn't taking this well, but he's not making it too hard on me either, saying he understands how betrayed I may feel, but to at least think it thoroughly before ending things definitively. Am I the wrong one? I feel this strong urge to confront her, but I rationally know it's not her fault that he could not keep it in his pants. What should I do? Update 1. Thank you so much for all the comments. I could not reply to all of them, but I appreciated all the support I got. Yesterday evening, before my father came for me and my daughter, my future ex-husband asked me to stay, to not leave so soon, to give him a chance to explain everything. Useless to say, I could not do that. I need time to think, to process all that has happened and understand how I want to proceed from this. He cried a lot and we hugged. I thought I would be heartbroken, but I mainly felt numb. I think I could not believe him even if he tried to be completely honest. He said it was just a drunken mistake, that he felt disgusted as soon as he came, that alcohol and abstinence made his head empty and she was just a CM bucket for him. He realized what he had done just after the deed was done. I told him it was a little late, that is easy now to say it meant nothing and it was a mistake. It meant nothing yet he fused her. He knew she had one thing in mind and he should have left that damn pub when she appeared. Instead, he greeted her and they also drank together. He told me they weren't alone but other friends were there drinking with them, so he thought it was okay. No honey, it wasn't okay for you to drink with a woman you knew that has always hated me, that has been trying to *CK you during our entire relationship. And when she asked you to go out and smoke with her, you should have said no. And when she asked you to get in the car with her, you should have laughed in her face and leave her there standing like the *** she is. Instead, you went along with all that and ended up between her legs. I told him all this. He said I was right. Yeah, sure. It's useless now. He did it, and that's all that counts. When my dad came, we acted as if he hadn't just broken our marriage. He hugged me a little longer than necessary, taking advantage of the fact that my father did not know, and kissed the baby a lot, with tears in his eyes. My father, being the ex-cop he is, asked me how we were doing and if it was everything all right. I reassured him and tried my best not to burst out crying in front of him during the 20 minutes trip to his house. When we got there, a look from my mother and she realized I wasn't okay, but they did not ask, so I went into my old room and fell asleep with my baby smiling at me. I did not cry even though I thought I would. I just felt angry and disappointed. This morning I woke up to my sister and brother-in-law waiting for me in the kitchen. They live 2 blocks away from my parents. We have always been a very close family and my sister is also my best friend, so she told me she wanted to know what had happened because it was clear I was being weird, and I told her everything, since everyone here suggested that I share this situation with the closest people to me. She was obviously livid and wanted to call him and break all hell loose, but ended up respecting my wish to wait a little longer. We hugged and cried, but I did not shed a tear for him. I cried for my daughter, for our broken family and my stupidity because I chose a man who threw our whole marriage away for a squalid quickie. I still care about him, but he messed me up pretty badly. My parents still don't know. My sister wanted me to fill them in, but I decided to wait. My husband's friend called, telling me he called him yesterday evening after I was gone and he was a mess, but I could not bring myself to care. I'll take it slowly from here. My sister insists that I call a lawyer, but I still need time to process. I'll keep you updated. Update 2. Am I the asshole for not finding in me the strength to forgive my cheating husband? Hi everyone. Sorry if I disappeared, but I have had a few busy weeks. Thanks for all your support. Reading your opinions really helped me. My daughter ended up being hospitalized a week after my post as she had bronchiolitis, and we spent a whole week there because she needed oxygen, antibiotics, and cortisone. During our stay at the hospital, since where I live they take COVID still very seriously, I was the only one who could stay with her, and only her father could come an hour a day to visit her. We spent time together and he was very supportive and obviously worried about her health. Of course I would talk to him during his visit since I think it would be useless to be hostile towards each other in a moment like that, and he told me he would answer any questions I had about that night when he cheated on me. I told him I did not want to know the details, of course, since we weren't going to be together anymore. He could sleep with whoever he wanted. He cried a lot telling me he knew he'd messed up pretty badly but he would do anything to save our marriage. I told him I simply did not want that the only thought of him with her repulsed me and I could never look at him the same after knowing what had happened, that trying to forgive him and save our marriage would be unfair to him since I would never trust him again, that something was broken and was beyond repair. He cried more, wondering why I was being so calm and collected about this whole situation. In the past I have always been much more impulsive and passionate about things, and asked me if I even loved him anymore. I told him there was no reason to scream or fight about all this. Anyway, I could not change the past, I could not go back and stop him from cheating on me. The only thing we can do is go on with our lives and try to at least be friendly with each other for our daughter's sake. When my daughter was better, we could go back to my parents and he would come visit the baby every day. His friend, let's call him John, told me that they met and he told him what happened. Since he still doesn't know it was John who told me the truth, he told him he desperately regretted what happened that night and was going to win me back. John told me all my ex has been doing for the past few weeks is working and going home to sleep, that he only goes out to visit us, and even though his friends tried to convince him to go out with them he always refused. John thinks he's really trying to make amends and I should consider forgiving him. To all those privately asking me if John has a thing for me, no he doesn't. He's recently gotten with a girl he's loved for years, waiting patiently for her to realize they were made for each other, so no, he was just looking out for me I suppose. Anyway, a girl reached out to me, a girl I know cause she was dating one of my ex's friends, let's call her Sarah, telling me she'd heard about what had happened and asking if we could meet. Turns out the girl my husband cheated on me with, let's call her Laura, has a thing for unavailable men, and Sarah caught Laura with her ex-boyfriend while they were in the act a few years ago. She also told me that Laura has no friends and everyone stays away from her because she's unreliable and has hurt a lot of people in the past, that she only hangs out with my ex's group because she's always fucking one of them. So a few nights ago Laura was at the pub we all go to, alone and drunk, and she approached my ex's group, asking about him and wondering why he'd blocked her. Sarah and Veronica, another girl I am good friends with, eavesdropped the conversation, and apparently Laura was bragging about sleeping with my ex, saying that if he fucked her it meant I wasn't enough for him and she could not understand why he was fighting it, since they were meant to be together. Sarah and the other girl were so furious to hear her blatantly bragging about breaking up a married couple with a small child that they ended up getting physical and beating her up a little. After that, Laura had the guts to contact me on Facebook. She apparently thought I still did not know anything, and she sent me a very long and detailed text about what happened with my ex. Well, at least he'd been honest and told me all the truth. It really was a one-time mistake and he never responded to her afterwards. I'll spare you the details. I really wish I could unsee the message honestly, but it's too late for me. I never replied. I did not know what I could say to her anyway. I only thought of insults and bad things to say, so I did not say anything. I think she's got what she deserved from Sarah and Veronica. Even though I don't condone this kind of behavior, I can't lie and must admit I felt pleasure when I heard what they did to her. I'll spare you the gory details again. Anyway, talking about serious matters, I started looking for a job. I have always worked as a private teacher for middle and high schoolers, and bought a new car with my friend's help, and I also go out for drinks with them sometimes. One of them is very close to me, I'll call him Luke, but I realized he could be trying to get with me cause he's made very clear moves on me. My ex-husband heard from a common friend that I was out drinking with Luke and he went crazy. He came to my parents, who still knew nothing about our situation cause I was waiting for the right time to tell them, and told them everything. about him cheating, about me not wanting to stay in our marriage, etc. He took full responsibility, but he also asked them to help him getting back with me. I think he felt like he was losing me for good and tried to go all in. Funny thing, my parents asked for my side of the story and were hurt that I did not tell them anything about it, but sure enough they asked me to reconsider my decision and give him another chance since he seemed so hurt and remorseful, and willing to do anything to make things right. I am simply speechless that they would even suggest that I forgive a cheater. The relationship between me and them was already rocky because they thought I shouldn't go out and drink when I have a baby at home waiting for me, but I honestly needed to distract myself a little since I was in a very dark place. I thought very bad things about me and my life, and the only reason I did not give up was exactly my daughter. Without her I would have done some bullshit, I admit it. I know they're trying to help me, but I was furious at them. They told me I had to think about my daughter, that marriage isn't always roses and flowers, and a child needs stability, that my husband was very caring and in the past 10 years he never gave me any reason to doubt him. My sister, though, was on my side and she's stunned that they would try and make me go back to him. She told me I can go live with her and brother-in-law, that they have plenty of space for us if I felt uncomfortable staying here with my parents for the time being. But as soon as my parents realized there was a chance I could leave their house, they immediately backed off, saying it was my decision. My daughter is happy, she loves to be surrounded by all these people and she gets to see her father almost every day, so she is doing okay. She's also grown a lot and every day is a new discovery and I am hopelessly in love with her. I still care for my ex-husband, but I don't think I love him anymore. It's like something switched off in me. I've always been like this. If someone hurts me, I immediately stop having feelings for them. He made his choice and I made mine. I know you all will judge me now, but I have to say the truth. I've been hanging out with this guy. He is handsome and he's interested in me. He says he's been interested since before I got married, but for obvious reasons he never did anything about it. But I have a little daughter and still am married, even though I already talked to a lawyer and will proceed with the divorce as soon as I feel ready. So, now you all can insult me, but we have been hanging out and we also slept together because I am human and have needs too now that I am 100% recovered, and since my ex-husband isn't an option anymore, well, it happened. I am not ready for a new relationship and could never trust someone else right now. Since I could not trust my man after all those years, how can I trust another man who has plenty of opportunities to have random sex with random women? He's a 30-year-old hot guy with money and a lot of girlfriends, so I am not stupid, but it's good to feel wanted and it has also helped my self-esteem, so I don't regret it. I am doing so much better and my intrusive thoughts almost totally disappeared. I still don't blame my ex for what he did. He made a mistake and I hope he can move on as well from all this, at least for my daughter, and from what John has been telling me, he's managed to change his lifestyle and do better for himself. I don't know if there will be other updates, but I am grateful to you all for the words of encouragement and also to all those who criticized me because I needed that as well. I know you will think I am no better than my ex for having sex with another guy so soon, but really, my feelings for him died as soon as I realized he wasn't the person I thought he was. Maybe I am not the person I thought I was too. Maybe we weren't meant to be after all. Thank you all so much. Story 2. Would I be the asshole if I texted my husband's female best friend to see her reaction? My husband has this best friend from college time. I never had issues with her until my wedding a month ago when my maid of honor overheard her snapping at another friend of theirs that she has him when she wants him, when the friend teased her that she lost him and he was the one who got away. I told my husband about it a few days ago, didn't want to ruin our honeymoon, but it was still in my head, but he denied anything happened between them. He was very calm when he said it. Almost too calm? Anyway, I have no proof and I trust him. Until I used his phone when mine died. He was driving and I was making a playlist on his phone. Then I looked through his iMessages and he had no thread with her. I mean, I know for a fact that they text. Nothing. I didn't say anything, but last night I literally saw her name pop up amongst the texts. When he went to bed I looked and there were no texts. He is deleting them. Now my question is, if I ask he will deny it. I need to know and I need proof. Would I be the AH if I initiated a conversation with her acting like I'm my husband and see what's up? I need proof and peace of mind. Update. Hi. This is my update. He is cheating. I went through his deleted messages, but it was empty, so he has been deleting the deleted messages as well. I don't know if there's further steps to find them. I don't know. I sent her, "What are you doing?" because this is how he texts when he is bored. She said she was in bed. I said he was in bed too, watching Succession. She asked if I was sleeping. Then it didn't take long before she started sexting. In a way that made it obvious that they've done it multiple times. I ended it quickly because honestly I felt nauseous. I didn't want to sext her. I sent myself all the evidence. Tomorrow I will be moving back to my parents' place and start the divorce. I will not tell him why. People are asking for update about my husband and his female best friend. I left him and now I am writing this from the comfort of my mum's bed. We kicked out Dad because I want all the attention now. They have been showering me with food and candy. I left without saying why, just that I wanted a divorce and that I don't love him anymore. I ended the marriage with a text while he was out because he's not worth more than that. When he got home I was gone. I blocked him because I never want to see or hear from him again. The rumors started spreading pretty fast though because I told my family and friends the truth. So now he is angry, thinking that his AP did it on purpose, so he is bashing her on social media and she is fighting him back and fighting other friends too. She texted me saying that I am a hoe who ruined her reputation and friendships and that he never loved me anyway and he married me because I am a dumb hoe. I blocked her. I will deactivate all my accounts for a while. After the holidays I am getting an attorney. I don't want an annulment. I don't think it is possible either. I want half, so no annulment. Story 3. Am I the asshole for telling my husband's affair baby's family to either come get the kid or I am calling Child Protection Services? My EF53, soon-to-be ex-husband Roger, 47, whom I forgave for his affair, came home with a baby 4 months ago. His girlfriend, 22, could not handle it anymore and brought the baby to him at work and left. To the best of his knowledge she is in Spain. I allowed him to stay so long as I did not have to do anything. Anything. Well, about a month ago Roger had a heart attack. It did not kill him, more's the pity, but he is very weak and incapable of doing anything for himself. Since he isn't up and about he cannot care for his child. He also cannot drop off and pick up his son at daycare. I have been helping but I am done. My kids are full grown. I shouldn't be having grandkids anytime soon. I do not have any desire to care for a baby. I told Roger that I want a divorce, and I contacted the mother's parents. I know the father through friends. I said they had until Friday to come get their grandchild or I was calling Child Protective Services. They just left with the baby. But they scolded me for being so cold towards a baby that had done me no harm. I view that child differently. Roger is recovering and I will be moving out. The house is in his name but I have never contributed to it. I have the equivalent of 22 years of rent and interest put away. And as per our prenup my savings are my own. I work and I don't need anything out of this marriage except myself. My kids tried telling me to stay and help their father. I said that they were welcome to come over and help him with cleaning himself and the baby. Both declined what I felt was a fair offer. I do not feel that I am acting badly, however Roger, our children, his child's family, and a few mutual friends think I am. Perhaps writing this out and seeing the responses will give me clarity. Update 1. I am no longer divorcing Roger. There were complications from his heart attack and he has passed away. I am conflicted. He was the love of my love but also a cheating piece of trash. To the best of my knowledge the mother will not return from Europe. The child is currently with her parents. They asked me what I wanted to do. I recommended adoption. Not that I adopt the child. That they put the child up for adoption. They didn't like that suggestion. Neither did my children. They said I am being cold and cruel. I suggested that since the child was related to them and not to me that they step up. Neither has accepted that suggestion either. I was the sole beneficiary of Roger's estate, so I imagine lawyers will be involved in getting the child some sort of support. I will pay whatever is ordered by the court out of the estate. I will not pay 1 cent out of my money. That is all I have to say on this matter. Update 2. The girl's parents finally did the right thing and cut her off. I had passed along their contact information to several dozen Redditors who seemed eager to help. Just an email. I did not reveal their identities or even their names. I believe this pressure convinced them to act. They finally got the clue that I would in no way take any responsibility for the child. Between her parents no longer funding her and the current climate in Spain against visitors, the child's mother has returned. I have washed my hands of the entire situation. Except for one thing. I have spoken with the lawyers and I will be splitting some of Roger's estate into 3 parts for the children. My children will get theirs immediately as they are adults. The child's money will be going into a trust with his brother and sister as the trustees. This will take some doing and as such will mean more money goes to the lawyers. Perhaps Shakespeare was correct with regards to that profession. My children are now less enthusiastic about their young sibling, but that is neither here nor there. They were the ones who insisted I involve myself. If there is anything left when I pass, they can split that between themselves, as I will not be leaving anything to that child. Thank you all for your help in my reaching clarity. I was letting my anger cloud my judgment and sense of fairness.